The purpose of the Un-convoluted Hierarchy Podcast is to help you better understand your work environment as I break down my own experiences as mid-level management of road construction. Greetings, navigators, and welcome back to the Un-convoluted Hierarchy Podcast, the Can You Relate series. I am your host, Kenny Rogers.
Come on, man. Sit the fuck down. Yeehaw!
In the Word Up segment of the show, we introduce a new word or a word hardly used in everyday speech. Word up. Disenthrall. To free from bondage. Liberate. The first recorded use of disenthrall was in 1635, combining dis, which denotes reversal or absence of an action or state, with enthrall, meaning to hold spellbound or to hold in or reduce to slavery. Worry, fear, toxicity of family, toxicity of romantic relationships, or the toxicity of work environments makes us all long to live in the state of disenthrall. Life is the greatest teacher. Not only do I believe life is the greatest teacher, life has to be the greatest teacher. I put life experience above official documents of education. Certificates are a significant head start to expertise. Yet, a diploma of sorts only states a person has gained knowledge of a particular subject. Applying the knowledge of what was studied leads to expertise. Although there may be a major imbalance and clear understanding with the idea of credibility. Think about it. Would you want a surgeon to operate on you if he or she only studied to be a practitioner? Of course, everyone in the medical field has to have the credibility of a certificate to declare they have successfully acquired knowledge. The next level of credibility is internship. What is internship? Life experience. Even after internship in the medical field, it becomes a medical practice, meaning action rather than just thought or the idea of how something is done. Have you ever asked a doctor or nurse how long they've been in the medical field? Have you ever asked to see their credentials? Maybe, but probably not. If you have, it is likely because of energy uneasiness. How long have you been doing this? We assume when we go to the hospital, the folks wearing scrubs, gloves, or white coats are credible. But credibility goes well beyond what someone says about themselves, what they have knowledge of, or the certificate they hold. Statements like, "I'm a doctor," or even, "I've researched this for a long time," doesn't mean a person can explain or perform with expertise. My question will always be, what have you actually done? Along with their answer, discernment of truth is also required. Do you remember the Florida teenager who was arrested for pretending to be a doctor after giving an undercover police officer a medical exam at an illegal practice the teenager actually opened? Mind you, this went on for years. I'm using the medical field as a premise because it's at the highest level credibility is required. Besides, it's also the law. Please understand, I absolutely believe education is important. I also believe experience is more important. The combination of the two is more credible, but there still is a problem. The problem is personality. Even if a person has years of experience or a certificate of knowledge, far too often it doesn't produce wisdom. It produces pride and egotism. We are programmed to put precedence on credentials over practice and personality. Like the aforementioned teenager masquerading as a physician. His charisma and audacity not only granted him access, but carried him for years in a field he didn't belong. Because of programmed perception of having credentials, people are placed in positions they don't belong as well, or maybe they're just not ready for it. Because of arrogance that sometimes come along with obtaining credentials, other employees are miserable. Companies waste millions of dollars, and products aren't produced at the highest quality. I've personally watched far too many tax dollars be invested in an unsound plan, even after the decision makers were told the plan wouldn't work. I have the credentials, so this is how we're going to do it. Never considering their colleagues' 20 plus years of experience compared to their 5 years and a certificate. Sadly, even after the plan fails, incredulous attitudes occur in favor of their failed attempt. Moreover, superiority resumes and dooms processes to be repeated even after experiencing what not to do. I have a degree in this field. Well, I have 25 years of experience. It isn't about measuring. It's about humility and trust. Along with many years in construction management, I also have many years in film and television production. I do have many required certifications for construction management, but I will tell you freely, I do not have a college degree in either. Let's take another look at the boldness of the Florida teen. This young man turned a dangerous, sinister, and selfish idea into actuality at 18 years old. I mentioned his age again to emphasize how ridiculous it was for him to get away with his plans. But what can we learn from the actions of this child? Tenacity and audacity produces results. When applied properly, fantastic results are the evidence. The evidence of what you've done is the greatest display of credibility. Again, I do not have a college degree in filmmaking, nor have I ever taken a class. Yet, I mentor students on their way to obtaining film credentials. How? Why? Because of the evidence of what I've done. Yet, because of the perceptual system, I've had mentees ask me, what college did you graduate from? I didn't go to college. And suddenly, I have no more credibility, regardless of the evidence of my experiences. This is exactly the same thing that happens in the workplace. Most of the time, a company has worked with the person most suitable for promotion for many years. But I'm sorry, Bob, we're looking for someone with a college education. You understand. So they bring in a credentialed young person that's been alive as long as Bob has been in the business. Bob, if you could help with the onboarding process, that would be great. Basically, sometimes because of credential requirements, more suitable people end up training the person that can fire them. Having knowledge, experience, and tenacity with humility is stellar, but decision makers often only look at one of those aspects, and it's hardly ever tenacity. Tenacity takes you wherever you want to go, but if applied in the wrong place, it can take you to jail. I am out of time, but here is a clip of what to expect in the next episode of the Un-convoluted Hierarchy Podcast. The pin in the grenade is, most people believe everyone thinks like they think, or should, especially if they look alike. It's easier to keep up with new episodes when you click the follow button and turn on notifications. Remember, my fellow navigators, circumstances don't change. You do. See you next time.